This is my Results Fitness internship video. My name is Colten Rhodes, and I'm going to start by showing you my daily routine. It's something I did every single day that I went and did my internship hours. So I'm going to start driving, and you'll see my drive is actually fairly short. I was not speeding. I've fast forwarded this because, I need to keep it timely, but I just wanted to kind of give you a better insight to my daily activities. One thing I wanted to talk about was one factor that I did put into my site, other than, the quality of the internship experience I would receive, was also my distance and time it was going to take me to get there and the resources that it was going to take. Because if I would have picked a site that was 30 minutes away, that's adding an extra hour to my day every day that I'm going to be driving, and not to mention the gas money I'd be spending to go to an internship. So I had to keep that in mind as well. My drive before I fast forwarded through this was 6 minutes, and I hit a lot of red lights, as you'll see. So, I kept mine very close. I think it was about 2 miles. So that's something I'd like to let future interns know. You should definitely keep that in mind when you pick your site, that a 30-minute drive is quite a long ways away, especially if you can get a closer place. See, I'm almost there. Going through, it looks like I'm going about 90 miles an hour. I promise I was not speeding. We're going to pull in, and this is it. This is results. Here. Get out. And you'll see me walking up to the door. I really wanted to have a video to show you exactly what I was talking about, my weekly logs, and what I will be talking about in my daily routine. You see, this is the front door. It has an entrance and an exit only, so you can't come in through the exit. So there's only one way in and one way out, which helps make sure that only people that are supposed to be there are in there, and make sure that people don't steal things. See, you walk in. There's the front desk, and you'll start seeing some of the machines and equipment through here. We're going through, and you'll see back there are a couple of the offices. There's John's office and Brian's office. There's a lot more of the equipment. It's all the cardio equipment. This is exactly what I did every single day. Didn't do anything different for the video. I walk up, and you'll see that's where I check to make sure everything's stocked, and there's all of the shirts and everything that I make sure, it's clean. I make sure there's no just empty hangers sitting there. Just stuff like that. Check the fridge and the towels. Towels were pretty low that day, and I'll talk a little bit more later about what I do with those. You'll see there's quite a few pieces of cardio equipment, so that's another thing that I clean, which I'll talk about that more later on into the PowerPoint as well. This is the front counter. This is where I keep my projects I'm working on, my bag and stuff for the day. I was usually there for pretty long days, like 8 or 9 hours, sometimes more, so I'd bring, water and food and stuff. Back here is the men's locker room right there that you're seeing right there at that door, along with the functional fitness area. And then the women's locker room and an emergency exit with a fire extinguisher by it. Other than that, you'll see there is a water fountain and alcohol-based sanitizer around. This is the cleaning closet. See, there is a mop sink with a mop bucket, a mop, and lots of cleaning supplies in there. That's used by me every single day that I'm there. I have several scales. That was Brian's office, and this is John's office. And you'll see this is the gym. It's got some motivational words on the walls. Lots of mirrors, as most gyms do. Dumbbells, benches, just really basic weight equipment. See me, I'm still walking through. There's a squat rack. Had a little bit of a stutter with the film there. Go through, and you'll see that we have the functional fitness room, like the group exercise room, along with the tanning bedroom. And this is one thing that I have to check every day because so many different people use it that a lot of times equipment will be out of place or in the middle of the floor, so it always looks different here every day I get in there. There is a back bathroom, and out here is the back door. This is behind the building. You'll see there's a dumpster, so where you throw the gym's trash away, and that's also where we take the kids out, and that's the exit we use to take them out to the field. You'll see, you go back here in this back corner, there is exercise balls and yoga mats, along with lots of steps. And then there is the child care room, which I've also talked about. And that is it for the gym. Now we'll go on to the PowerPoint. This is the continuation of the PowerPoint. This is my internship experience at Results Fitness and Nutrition Center. Going on to my daily routine. So as you saw in the video, the towels were very low that day. I normally would take them over to the cleaners and drop them off. They would call me a couple hours later, and I'd go pick them up, and I'd bring them back, fold them, and make sure they were neat and organized on the little counter there. That way the members had plenty of towels. That was a really important part of our service, because that's something our members look forward to. They definitely use the towels a lot. It's a very used service with us. Another thing I had to make sure that was done was stocking all of the protein powders and bars in the fridge that you saw. Like I said, our members go through that stuff very quickly, so if I don't have it up there and it's not stocked, they're not going to buy it, and the gym doesn't make as much money. And it's a business. We're trying to help people, but we're also trying to make money, so we can keep doing that. So that's a very important part of what we had going on there. Another thing that was very important as far as customer service and people skill related wise was answering the phone in a good professional manner. So we wanted to answer the phone almost immediately, try not to let it ring more than twice, and they normally would ask for Brian or John, because Brian's the owner and John's the general manager. And more often than not, they were training somebody, so you'd have to take a message. Some people would leave a message, some people would just want to call back at a different time and try to talk to them. But fairly often I would take a message, especially for Brian. He would want you to leave who took the message, what time it was taken, who called, what their number was, and what they were calling about. That way he kind of had an idea of what he was going to be talking to them about before he called. Just to kind of help everybody communicate a little bit more smoothly. So that was a pretty big thing. What I spent most of my time doing was cleaning. It's a gym. We're trying to keep it as clean as possible. The cleaner it is, the more people are going to go there, and it's going to feel nicer there. So I cleaned all the cardio equipment, the weights, everything, even the weight pads. The metal parts on the weights were painted black, so they got dusty, so I had to dust them a lot. I spent a lot of time cleaning the group exercise room, because people were in and out of there all day long and doing different things. Even though there was only several different group exercise classes offered during the week, individual people would go in there and they'd leave their weights out, or leave yoga mats out, or move things in the middle of the room, so I'd have to move them back to where they belong, to the sides, just to kind of keep them out of the way, and that way no one got hurt on them. And I would say cleaning was probably the biggest thing I did as far as time-wise is concerned at my internship. I did also do a lot of shadowing though, which was good, because I got to learn a lot of new things, like different exercises, and kind of how the personal trainer-client relationship is. It's a little bit awkward at first, because you're just an intern and you don't know exactly what to do, but once you kind of get used to talking and be a little bit more confident, it can be a lot of fun, and all the clients are very interesting and they like to have a good time. So it is a pretty good experience shadowing as well. My number one project, my first project I did, was the summer camp. So I had to create sign-up sheets, accountability sheets, workouts, goal sheets, and also teach the kids about nutrition. So to do this, I had different materials and resources I pulled from. I also had the help of an employee for the first couple weeks that I was designing this before the camp started, but he ended up moving, so I had to take everything that we had done and teach it to another employee that we ended up running the camp together. So I was more or less I was in charge of the camp, which was cool to be able to have that responsibility and the experience to learn everything different, because there's a few things that I know now that I could do different, but I also feel confident that I could run a camp on my own. So that was definitely a good experience. Um, we had to make sure they had sign-up sheets so we knew how long the kids were signed up for. Accountability, to, that way once they had run out of time on how many ever weeks they signed up for, that we could make sure we were charging their parents. That way the gym isn't losing out on money. Designing the workouts was also fairly challenging because we have all the way from 8-year-old boys to like 16-year-old girls. So the workouts are very different for each one of them. We also let them fill out goal sheets. That way they had like an idea of what direction and what kind of fitness goals or with their sport they wanted to achieve. And then we talked to them about nutrition very briefly because their parents wanted us to touch base on it. Let them know that they should be eating breakfast and eating before and after their workouts, and just simple things like that. For my second project was a risk stratification manual. It just went over natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, fires, tornadoes, of course, things like that. The other thing we talked about are legal obligations, like filling out waivers and par Qs. That way if someone does have an accident in the gym, the gym is covered, that we did have them fill out the proper paperwork. The other thing for risk stratification was to make sure the floors were picked up and that there wasn't loose equipment laying around. And I feel like that was fairly important as well, because you don't want to see someone trip and fall and get hurt. And for my third project was an internship brochure. It just kind of listed what to expect, how to secure your internship, and a list of specific duties. So that way John could hand an internship brochure to somebody and not have to spend 30 minutes explaining to him what it is. It just has all the information listed on it, and it's just a little trifold brochure. It's in my binder. It also had the contact information in the gym. That way, if John was out and about and had it on him, or was going to do a speech in class or speak to the class, that way he could just hand it to him, be like, go and do your internship here. This is the information. This is where we're located, and this is the contact information, so you can call us or email us. Just that good stuff. That way it is a little bit easier on him to let people know that they can intern there. So that was a pretty good one for the community, I felt like. And then how I secured my internship site, I did research online, found a site that only hired degreed certified individuals. I got the site approved through Dr. Boyd. I asked her if it was alright, and she said yes it was, because they already had interns do their internship there. And so that was fairly easy. I didn't have to do anything extra to get the site approved. I contacted the site supervisor, which was John, and he called me in for an interview. We interviewed. We hit it off really well. He liked me, so he went ahead and hired me as an intern. And here we are now. And my suggestions for future interns would be try to complete the internship in the fall or spring semester to give yourself some extra time to get it done, because if you do it in the summer, you're looking at doing at least 35 hours a week minimum just to get all your hours done on time. Try not to take on too many tasks at once. Try to only do one project. Even though my other two projects were not nearly as demanding as the summer camp, they still took time out of my day, and that I could have spent sleeping or doing other things. So definitely keep that in mind. Stay ahead of your paperwork. On your weekly logs, try not to wait till the end of the week to write them. Try to write a little bit every day and add to it, and maybe, either summarize or try to tie it all together towards the end. Other than that, if you do all those things, you should be fine and successful at your internship. I wish you all the best of luck, and I'm very thankful for the experience. I can't wait to put it to good use.